Hello, anybody or everybody. How is it going? Scheduled for. Should be live now. Let's just go to Twitter. Face lift. Hello, Joe, and hello, Peter, from California and Boulder, Colorado. Hello. I'm just finishing pimping out myself at the moment. Just tweeting out. Where am I? Who am I? And, Telegram, desktop, blah 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 blah. Okay. So, hello, guys. Can you hear me okay? And see me okay? And all that jazz. This is my first time streaming from my new PC. So I have no idea whether I have it set up right or anything at all, but all the signs point to okay, so hopefully it is okay. Hey Rob, how's it going? Yes, so I'm kind of in the way there. I wonder, I might move myself. Hey, Zwick Angel? Zwick Nagel. Oops, moved the wrong thing. Let's lock the desk. So then all I can move is me. Am I locked? There we go. I should be more out of the way there. What is the question? More PCB3s. Okay, let me give myself a little bit of gain on my mic. Put myself right up here. Give myself a little bit of gain. Let's give myself like an extra 4 dBs. Is that enabled? No? Filters, gain. Yes, so I should have an additional 4 dBs now. So I should be a little bit louder. I'm also going to try eat my microphone. Nom nom nom. Yes, so PCB3s. People have been asking me about them, when they'll be back in stock. Very soon, probably next week. Hey Andy. Slightly louder, so even louder than this. I guess I need to put more gain. I don't know if that'll just make me sound crap, but is that better? I kind of can't talk too loud because people are in bed. But yes, so yeah, people have been asking me about when we'll be getting, or when will I be getting more PCB3s. I have some now. I just need to finish bagging them up and put them out there. Even louder still? Okay. Yeah, just let me know what the story is with the volume. Okay, cool. Great. Hello, Max Int, and I'm pretty sure I said hi to everybody now at this stage. So yeah, I've been ordering PCB trees off JLC. Last year's ones, which are here, were from Electro. I went with Electro because they guaranteed to not have a watermark. if anybody's wondering what who knows what I dropped there. So this is one of the first ones I ordered off JLC, and you'll notice this thing here, and that is a watermark that's on the FR04 material, and it was kind of a crapshoot off JLC which side of the board it was on. Like sometimes it was on the back, and that was fine because I don't care about the aesthetics of the back, but when it was on the front, it just completely ruined the design. And when I asked them about it, they were like, "But we can't say which side it'll be on," which was fair enough. So they couldn't guarantee that I wouldn't have that watermark on it. So I had to go with somebody else, and I ended up going with Electro, who were way more expensive, and I had to pay. Like I ordered them like in November. I forgot to put it on this time. This was like the first batch of PCB3s, and yes, I scratched it off. I have it on the new batches. Have them on the back now. Yeah. So I went with Electro, but the Electro PCB, you can see there's a huge difference between the two of them. Like it's way more yellow and less transparent. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Also, which I think is quite interesting, is I got these from JLC today. So if we take a look at them. So number one, a few of them have kind of bad silk screens. The top three, because I've sorted them by which has the worst silk screens. But so if I take a look at these two, I think maybe there's not a huge difference between them. But even like in this light, it's hard to tell. But even like, so this is the same order. Like I ordered 10 PCB3s off JLC, and there's two different materials here, and this is the second time this has happened. It doesn't really matter to me, but I just think it's interesting, right? Like if you were very finicky that they were all the exact same, these, I guess you couldn't use JLC because this is the second time. You can see that on stream, right? That they're like, this is a paler color, and this one looks more translucent. So hey Michael, how's it going? And Colin, and Leonid, or Leo. I don't know why I called you Leonid. I don't think I've ever called you Leonid. And Mark, how's it going? Yeah, so kind of weird. And then like, as that's the Electro one, so that's even more yellow again. But yeah, so I ordered them way too late last year, and like I had to pay Electro for like fast turnaround, and I had to pay for DHL delivery, and everything was just like expensive. So yeah, yeah, exactly. They're just different types of Christmas trees. So I've kind of messed up my which was which now. But I also ordered them in black because why not? And I actually think they look pretty cool. So this is JLC's matte black, or whatever they call it nowadays. I don't know if they still call it matte black. So this arrived today. So yeah, that's the color change of the. So it's the FR4 is just changing color. So in my last order, I got like 8 of the translucent ones and like 2 of the yellow ones. So I thought, oh, maybe they're transitioning to the yellow ones, or the other way around. But then the same thing happened this time. So I think it's just like a crapshoot to whatever comes. Yeah, so that's the black. So one thing about the black solder mask is the copper layer, underneath doesn't really show up. Like, you can kind of see it when I like tilt it or whatever, but it's really apparent on the green, but it's not at all apparent on the, like, so that's one of the reasons why black PCBs, they're a little bit harder to like debug because the traces are less clear on them. It's the same with the white. Yeah, the stream will be VODed afterwards or whatever. Yeah, it does look indigo. So a little bit. That's a little bit the lights, but definitely under certain like kind of conditions, it looks indigo. And like even so, this is pretty artificial. The lighting. You can see how bright my hand is here. But even in my kitchen, which isn't that bright, it's the same thing. I don't know why I have this on. It's no advantage to me whatsoever. So just like this is JLC or not JLCs. This is Osh Park Purple, and they're not a huge amount different, which is interesting. So it is like they're. It's definitely more purple to me in person than it is on camera, but yeah, interesting. I've never actually made up one of those either, but that'll be for some other time. So I was thinking about soldering up one of these and seeing how it looks. For LEDs, I was thinking about using maybe just two, pink and maybe yellow. I thought that might be cool. Yes, the headphones looked cool, but it was making me like it was dampening out the noise around me. So I was kind of speaking weirdly as well. It was kind of a little bit off-putting to me. So my wife has been bagging up kits. So when these do become available, this is the kit you would get from me. So the pink LEDs are going to be an optional extra if people want to get them, or if they want to just buy their own pink LEDs, that's fine too. But this is what would come in the kit. So toggle switch, push button. So what the push button is for, if you're not familiar with it, so this is the PCB3. It's an Tiny 13 with Charlie Plex LEDs, excuse me, and they're reverse mounted, so they're soldered on upside down, pointing through the board, and they get diffused through the material, which is nice. And yeah, so the button, there's a toggle button here as well that you can hold down to change the mode. So like that's a slower flash, you hold it down again, and each time the thing moves is a different one. So this is a double flash. Pink, or yeah, so this is a solid one. Then the next one is like a solid blink. So yeah, a couple of different modes. And it's also programmable. Like there's pads on the back, so if you want to change it to yeah, like I was kind of thinking all pink, but both Dave Darko and my wife independently said that I should use pink and white. So I have some white LEDs, but I wouldn't have enough at the moment. Because I never needed to buy that many white because they were just for the star. So I was thinking maybe pink and yellow, but I liked the idea of just pink. All pink. Oh, my ESP32 shields have just sold out. Did somebody make a really big order or something? I didn't list that many. So maybe... No. Yeah, so what's the... Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. Is that how you... Is that how you talk, Big Clive? Like a unicorn. Yeah, so I don't have enough white, or at least maybe I have some white, but not a huge amount. Like so we've bagged up a few of those bags, and I definitely don't want to go digging through those bags I have this many white ones that aren't in those bags. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 12 LEDs. So yeah, we could do white. So white and pink. I don't have indigo, or is in like I don't have any purple LEDs. Just pink. And I actually don't really even know what the pink looks like. Maybe the pink isn't even that bright, so that might be a problem too. But so what do we think? Pink and white, or just all pink? Pink and yellow, or I have red, blue, green. Yeah, so that's another thing too, of orange. Last year when I was like making up the kits of this, like some of the first ones that I assembled up, I used like a piece of wire to like indicate what color these were. So I'd like wrap hey Johnny, how's it going? I wrapped like piece of red insulated wire around the red ones and orange insulated wire around the orange ones, and it was such a pain. Like indigo board with pink LEDs. So yeah, this one here, is it? Yeah. So this will probably not be something I can sell. There's no problem with selling them. It's just the cost of them is too expensive. Like I think 3 of them is like $40 delivered, because when you're ordering a PCB that's a funny shape, like it just they charge you for the maximum shape, right? And the tree is like, if you look, I know this is a little bit off center or whatever, but like these grids are 10 centimeters, so the tree is almost 10 centimeters tall and is like 7 centimeters wide. So like it's counted as a almost 10 by 7 PCB. So like it's quite expensive on Osh Park. So you can do the medium run ones, and that brings down the price a lot. I think it's like you get 10 boards for not even double the price. But coming from the States then as well, I'd be liable for import tax, and I just don't think it would end up being worth selling. So yeah, I don't think so. Oh yes, so Rob got a few of the trees off me, and I asked him would he mind if. So another one of the methods I used for like marking the LEDs was I put masking tape on them. Uh, yeah, so they can be like put beside each other, but they don't, like for someone like Osh Park it might make sense, but for JLC it doesn't, because it's over the 10 by 10. So you see that would be the 10 by 10 there, and suddenly it just ramps up the price a huge amount. Yeah, so if they were a tiny bit smaller, um I could have. And like, to be honest, if they were originally like 80% of the size or 90% of the size, and you could panelize it twice or whatever, nobody would have cared. And even now, maybe people wouldn't care. But I'm just gonna keep them the same. So just purple probably won't be an option. I might maybe like give these away, or do a raffle for them or something. I'm not sure. Or like maybe do something for charity around them. Like if somebody wants to like list it for maybe more expensive than the other ones, and the profits or whatever can go to charity. So yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do with them. And who else is? Hey John, how's it going? Yeah. So let's try it. So pink and white. I'm gonna trust Dave Derko and my wife in that order. Okay, I need to get my soldering iron, which is here. Yes, looks like I didn't clean it the last time I used it. Bold me. Hey Brian, how's it going? I don't know if I mentioned. I think I mentioned it on the MakerCast, but for the YouTube subscriber counter video, one of the subscriber counters was Mr. Beast's, which had two 64 by 32 matrices beside each other, and I ended up plugging this wire into the power socket. My daughter came in and was like, "Oh, I want to see the lights. I want to see the lights." And I was like, "Okay." And I reached behind the thing and I just grabbed like the first barrel jack I found and I plugged that in, and that's like 24 volts. And I broke two 64 by 32 LED matrices, and so breaking them is a pain in the ass because like they cost $20 or whatever, so that was $40. But the bigger issue was that like this was on like Thursday night, and I wanted to finish that video at the weekend, and like you can't just go out and buy them, like, right? So I got them on Amazon through Amazon Prime, and they like arrived on Monday. Prime isn't the same for us in Ireland because it comes from the UK. Well, it does for now. Who knows where it'll come from soon. Um, yeah, and so I ended up just like doing as much as the video as I could without them, and then fixing it. Okay. I used to use 0.5 mil solder last year. But the 0.5 mil solder I have now, even though it's from the same like company, or it looks the same, isn't the same. Like sometimes you end up that like the flux is stringy or something. It's real weird. Normally I do like this solder a lot. Well, or I like it fine. I don't particularly like it. I think it's decent. But yeah. So I'm gonna just set my iron to maybe 350. It is leaded solder, so it probably doesn't even need to be that high, but I don't know. I normally keep it at that. Yes, it does, Gavin. The falling sand animation is 64 by 64. A good few of those YouTube subscriber ones were 64 by 64 as well. There is one right here plugged into it. So that's the new version that has the where are we? That has the accelerometer module pins broken out as well, so you can plug that directly into it. Hey, the Tinker Dad, how's it going? Seasonal PCB in September. I apologize that ouch, I burnt myself. Good job, Brian. Smells like chicken. I apologize that it is September and there's seasonal PCBs, but I didn't know I was gonna stream either. I just the kids went into bed fairly early, and we said we'd did YouTube? Yes, they did. Change. So it's now rounded. So for me, I was wrong in my video. I don't know if YouTube changed their policy or if I read it wrong at the time. But like my subscriber counter now reads 9270, so it's rounded down to 70. Yeah, so like as I mentioned, these LEDs are being soldered upside down. So they're 0603 LEDs, and yeah, we're gonna do them upside down. So the first thing we need to do is get one out. Really, I should be getting several out. Do you like my? Yeah, I literally like half an hour ago went, oh, maybe I should. I need to solder this black PCB. Maybe I'll stream it. So that's what we're doing. So yeah, they're 0603, so they're quite small. Hey Paul, how's it going? Yeah, Max Inter, perfect. Yeah, it was last week. A pile of stuff, and also hello, and intermittent tech. Oh no, I didn't mean that way for people who want to get before Christmas. Yeah, so like somebody said it to me like last year when I was like released them in November. They were like, "This is way too late to release PCB or tree related stuff or Christmas related stuff for American people." I'm just gonna get my IKEA soldering mat. Because I want to solder closer to me, and yeah, because I was like, why can't I see the pads? And I was like, oh yeah, because the the thing is about 2 foot away from me. Yeah, so if you want to do these upside down soldering, you just put a big blob on one side. So I like this kind of soldering iron tip that is kind of, it's like a conical one, like a cone one that they like sliced. So I kind of feel it kind of gives the best of both worlds. So I'll just tin the tip a bit. Delicious. So what I like to do is put the flat side kind of facing the other pad, and then just bring in the soldering iron, and it kind of leaves with a big lump, and that's what you're hoping to get. And then you have the extra fun part of getting your LED the right way around. So I got this tweezers from LCSC. Well, sorry, I bought this tweezers from LCSC. I got it makes it sound like I got it as a gift. That is not true. So I haven't done this in a long time, so forgive me if I'm terrible at it. But yeah, so you'll notice there's little arrows on the tree as well. That indicates the direction of the LED, and so when you're soldering upside down, it's actually a little bit easier because it might be hard to see. I'll try zoom in on it again, but there's a little green arrow pointing that way on the LED. So you just you line up the arrows on the silk screen with the LED. Yes, I am not going to sell any as made this year. I did last year, and I never want to do it again. It isn't worth my. It's not that it's not worth my time. It's that I couldn't charge. Like, I am so time poor, and like it wouldn't be fair to charge what I would need to charge. Like, to be honest, there isn't really even a price that I want to charge to do it. I just don't want to do it anymore. Is that Av skilled? What's Av skilled? It's an IKEA like pot mat. Yeah, I use them a lot. I think it's nice. Yeah, I really like that. That was one of the better things I did. So, is that straight? Yeah, that's not actually too bad. So you just basically you line up your LED upside down. You have to try keep it straight. That's one of the biggest issues with it. It's that like there's only a small bit of the LED that's facing into the board, so it can tilt one way or the other, like up or down. And but it's pretty forgiving actually as well, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Hey Anthony, how's it going? So like yeah, we'll see it again more times, but you just like bring it into place, heat up your pad, and just bring in the other one, and so then you just rotate it and do the other side. So again, I'm putting the flat side towards the LED, and I'm going to clean my head because I should have. So there is a pretty decent blob on it now. I don't know, I don't know if it's just the lighting. I'm now pretty far from my lights, but yeah, that looks okay. The second side I did. Normally after I do the second side, I go back and just put a bit more solder on the first side, just to make sure that it's blobbed up. So yeah, that second side is actually done a bit better. Let me try zoom in a little bit. It's not actually zoom that I need to worry about, it's the focus, because I'm gonna bring you closer to it, but it's the focus that's the problem. Yeah, so do you see the first side, which I went back and did again, is much better than the second side, so I might just finish that off now. I can't bring you that close, or I would burn my I would burn my webcam. Actually, let me try do this. This might work. If I did it the other way, then it would be... That's casting a shadow. Okay, yep, it's not too bad. It is completely in my way, but that's fine. Yeah, so that looks a bit better now. Just the black really shows up the flux, but it's not too bad on this side. I tin the pads on one side of all the LEDs. Yeah, that's what I normally do. Then fix one side for each. Yeah, that's what I'd normally do. Yeah, like it's just to keep the... This isn't too bad because none of the pads actually go through to the other side, but yeah, it is good to have something heat resistant, so that's pretty good. So that's the general idea of soldering them. So let's I'm gonna just zoom me out and put the blob on again. It's relatively focused. Okay, so clean my head and let's go again. I'm hoping the pink looks okay, because I haven't even seen the pink yet, so it's not as blobby as I'd like here, but yeah, none of them are kind of blobbing up as much as I would like, but it's fine. Well, adapt to whatever happens. Maybe I have it too hot. Not sure. So does... Hey, thanks, Logitech. Yeah, so it was nice. It's a pity that I don't know what the story is now with like if you, I missed one when I was fluxing. It's actually the flux that's causing it to not stick up. Um, like the last I looked, like I bought a few of those modules and like only half of them worked. Or sorry, half of them worked as HID modules. The other half just worked as HC05 modules. Um, you like they, I guess they just found a cheaper way of making them or something, and the cheaper way didn't support the mod, which was kind of weird. So let's take some pink ones out. Yeah, so I got this tweezers off LCSC. I think it's quite good. Points are sharp. No major complaints about them. I'm gonna have LED confetti here. Let's take out that many and see how we get on. So the next one under the white one would be pink. So let's do that. So I'll leave it on the PCB so it's nice and flat. Pick up my soldering iron. If anybody has any questions about any other projects or anything, feel free to ask, and feel free to repeat if I don't seem to answer. So is that pretty tilted? It's a little bit tilted, but it's actually not awful, so I might leave it where it is. So then I'd make this one white, make this one pink, I suppose. Just to try stagger out the pink and the white. I've never really made two colors before, or did I? I definitely made a red and blue one actually at one stage. I don't know if that was per order. Like, yeah, I'm definitely never assembling them again. So like I made like 20 of these last year and I just hate it. Yeah, the colored pen on the tape works great. As Rob mentioned, it works much better than masking tape anyways. I hate when this happens. Does anybody know why it happens? Ugh. Like I had it the right way and then it's stuck too high up. Like it is currently stuck on my tweezers. Now it's obviously statically charged because it was stuck on the soldering iron too, unless it got a bit of tape or something from, or it got a bit of residue from the tape. I'm just gonna stab in here and see how it goes. I should have something that actually, that one's perfect. That one is not perfect. That one is perfect. It's perfectly flat. Yeah, it's static. Well, I presume it's static. I don't know what it is. Something makes them like stick to your tweezers, and I don't know what it is. I also amn't fully sure why I didn't take the opportunity to like I should have. I don't know why I'm using 063 ones. I could be using anything like 1206. Like there's plenty of room on the PCB, so I don't know why, but yeah, that's what we're using. So let's see. Oh, come on. I use paper. Can't stick to paper. So we'll just tap it, slide it in there. That gets a little bit. Yep, that one went pretty good too. I'm getting better at this. So that one's gonna be white, pink, white, pink, white, pink. I suppose maybe there. Yeah, maybe I'll put the next pink one here. The pink LEDs are a very similar color to the cork board, so they're actually quite hard to see. I think the blobs of solder paste that makes them stick, it always goes away when I clean mine with alcohol. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it could even be like a bit of flux on the tweezers or anything. I believe it's sticky from the tape cover. Yeah. Ah, that's a great idea, Paul. Maybe I'll start doing that. Use a different tweezers for the tape. Makes sense, right? Okay, so if I did that white, I'll do that one pink down there. So do I have enough white ones left? So how many did I say I had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I must have enough white ones. So if I have pink, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm doing 5 there. I really should have another pink one somewhere. Maybe we'll just do pink there and there. So then I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white ones. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll do another pink one in the middle. And it's exactly how many pink ones I have out. So that's good. So I have no flux on this one, so it'll be interesting to see if it works any better. A lot of things going on with alcohol. Well, it's the time of the year, right? It's Christmas, apparently. So also, one thing I've done with this year's version is I fixed the ISP headers. I messed them up in last year's one. They were Mozzie and Miso were mixed up. I don't know too many people who reprogrammed it anyways, but yeah, that was a pain. So in the documentation I told people, hey, I done goofed. I'm an idiot. Ugh, I hate when you have it the right way, but it's the right upside downness, but it's the orientation's wrong. Fuck. Demonetize me. I also have the Don't Panic badge here. At some stage I need to try David's crazy ass solder on the side technique. Looks fun. I'm not happy with this one. It's leaning up. There we go. Yep. Okay. Duct tape and I do prefer rum. So people who would have been around for when I streamed in like last year would know this, but I actually let the Irish people down. I don't drink. So yeah, that's a bombshell. So I have my straight tweezers out here. You can all judge my tweezing ability. I hate this. Like, I especially hate because we cut these because individually like each kit gets one white one, so we just send out one white one. But I wasn't expecting to use it. I need to order more white ones. Ooh, so this is not sponsored. Hey David, I was literally just talking about you. Ray, you don't drink either. Wow, there's two Irish people. Actually, apparently Ireland has quite a large portion of people who don't drink, um, as the stereotype would not suggest. One, two, three, four, five. And yeah, you know what a big reason for that probably is because this is not my reason for not drinking, but a lot of people who don't drink mightn't drink because they saw somebody else had a problem with it or whatever. But yeah, apparently Ireland has quite a large percentage of teetotalers, which is, I don't know what that is. Is that a common saying for people who don't drink? Teetotalers? I was saying that so I'm soldering LEDs upside down here, and I was saying that I have this, and that I have to try out your crazy technique to solder them on the side. Uh, it looks great, though your tweet on it. Stout, yeah, you eat stout with a spoon. Uh, Somebody is eagerly waiting PCB3s. Who is it? What color are you eagerly waiting? Okay, so I have some whites now. I find it weird that the white LEDs have yellow covers on them. Does anybody know why that is? This is so awkward. Why am I? Ah, you dick. Obviously, I've learnt to curse since the last time I streamed. I think this tweezers is already tainted from the first sticky tape situation. That one went pretty well as well. I'm getting really good at this, guys. Definitely not going to jinx myself. Like, I did so many of these last year, and like now when I'm picking up stuff with my left hand, I feel like it's somebody else's left hand. It just does. I don't know. It's like, if you're right-footed and you go to kick a ball with your left foot, it just feels wrong. No, you look, I put it on its side and I flicked it over the wrong side. But everybody should get this because it's a really easy kit to put together. Yeah, actually, I need to make this look easier than it is. Wow, I'm having so much fun. You should totally buy this kit when it's available because it's so easy to solder. It actually isn't that hard to solder. It just takes a long time. Like, I definitely got to a stage where I was doing them in about half an hour if things were going okay. But like your tweezers doing this crap is not things going okay. Your tweezers doing this crap is the bane of your life when you're doing this. Where else do I need this? I was about to say I took out more LEDs than I needed, but I didn't. The don't panic badge as well. What thickness is it, Dave? Because it feels like a wafer. So I don't know if you can see that, but like it doesn't even register compared to it. Like it's so thin. It's really cool though. But yes, so thin. I also have the crap badge that I also need to solder up at some stage. But the Don't Panic badge attracts me more at the moment. I think it's a nice challenge, and I think I have all the parts. It mightn't have the right resistors. Yeah, I don't really have a suitable cap for my IPA. I don't have a suitable vessel for my IPA. I have IPA. I suppose I could use its own lid, but I don't have anywhere to pour the IPA, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's all the LEDs done. This one looks a bit crap, so I might try again with that one. Just get it. Yeah, that looks better. So now, other than the star, I need to put solder on all the other ones. 0.6. Yeah, it's so thin. It's bloody badass though. It's funny as well when you assemble it, like one LED soldered the wrong way around or whatever can completely throw off like how it works in terms of, like, you might have like 5 LEDs, or well, I don't know how many. 5 is probably wrong, but you could have like several LEDs not lighting up because you're breaking you're breaking the Charlie plexing when you have an LED in the wrong way around. But hopefully I have these all in the right way around. And last one. Alright. I could go back over the other sides of them, but I'm not going to bother. Right. So, the other thing, next thing in your kit, you're getting 5 resistors this year instead of 4, even though you only need 4, because resistors are incredibly cheap, and it would just be an awful pain if somebody like just dropped the resistor in the carpet or something. I don't really have anything to pour it into. I suppose I could just open the lid and dip it in there, but then I'd be poisoning my poisoning the rest of it. That's fine. We'll get by. Yeah, so it'd just be an awful pain for somebody to like have to, not be able to assemble it because they dropped a resistor into their carpet or whatever. So I'm just gonna send 5. So the chances of that happening are a little bit less, and it doesn't really cost me anything. I guess because I'm on a stream, I should probably put them the right way around. Is DigiCool Things here? I know that's a pet hate of his. Would you turn around? That the resistor numbers need to read the correct way. They're even, because these are 100 ohm resistors, so the number on them is 101, I think. Yeah, 101. So they don't even look that bad upside down, but I don't know. I always feel like I just better do them the right way. David wants, have you done any video for making videos? David told Brian when giving him the badge, if on your journey you should encounter God, God will be cut. Is that an actual scripture? Is there? There's no Brian though in the Bible, is there? There was a David and Goliath. Was he in the Bible? Or is that just a fable? I'm not a very religious person. And when I say I'm not a very, I'm not religious at all. I was, as all Irish people nearly, I was raised a Catholic, but I don't practice anymore. I like even in a census, I wouldn't say I'm Catholic either. I would say no religion. So I don't. That is not a subject matter I would be very good at anymore. Wine. Yes, there is a. I'm Brian, and so is my wife. I can't remember the last time I've seen that film, but yes, it gets that exact line gets quoted to me quite a lot. This resistor is not in the same orientation as the. Well, it's in the same orientation. It's just a little bit more pulled towards me, but it's fine. Look, I won't say anything if you don't say anything. Anything else? That's why I use it. Yes. The Switch is familiar. That's why I think I have everything from the Don't Panic badge, including like I bought like 300 of these these battery holders, which so I've got everything. Yeah, I think they're a really standard Switch. So these are a push button that Sion recommended to me at one stage, and I just put them on everything since. It's just kind of one of those things where like you have something, so you're happy with it, so just keep getting that over and over again. It's not the cheapest button though, but I guess like if it's decent, then when I say it's not the cheapest, I think it's like 10 cent, which maybe it's not even that expensive. I don't know, but like in the grand scheme of things, it's not that expensive. Yeah, I'm like, it's 10 cent. It's not that expensive. So I probably could do with making the pads for these a little bit longer. Like it is a small bit of a challenge to solder it, and it really doesn't need to be. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. Like, I can quote that film better because people keep quoting it to me than because I've watched the film. Yeah, better push buttons are worth paying for. That's true. Yeah, it's that is one kind of pity that LCSC don't have, is like a rating system or something. Like, I'd like to know what is good on LCSC. Like, if there's a cheap something or whatever and it's all right, then I'd be happy with it. But Julian used a halogen bulb to reflow solder. That's pretty good going. I do have a hot air station. I never use it really. I use it for heat shrinking on my what are they called? Power blockers. What are they called? Ah, yes. Yes, my first product ever, the power blocker, and to this date it is still the product I've sold the most of and will surely forever remain so. Yeah, you could burn holes in things. Surely you can melt some solder. One thing actually I did on my SAO stand design, and I probably should have done with this too, is I actually put an open pad between these two things because it's just for holding the shield down, and it just makes it a little bit easier. Yeah, make it a true hole. I was thinking about making a true hole version of this board, sort of, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. So it'd be true hole, sort of, as I said. It would, I would put drill holes the size of true hole LEDs into the board and have like pads on the back of it. So like coming through the front, instead of these, you would have like 5mm LEDs sort of half popping out, and you'd bend the legs back here to like solder down onto two pads, which might be nice. Yeah. Oh, another thing actually, since the last time I streamed, is I've new internet. Seems to be going perfectly, but yeah, I've fiber broadband now. Who would have thought? I also need a tiny. Some of my tinies look like they've been chewed by a dog or something, so it makes me think that the tinies I bought off AliExpress are not new. Hey, crazy old pappy, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you. 5 Canadian pesos. Well, I presume it's Canadian. CA dollars? Has to be Canadian, right? I need my flux. Yeah, they finally came to fit the fiber. It was like 2 months after I ordered it. The like 4th time they came out to install it, they finally got it working, or whatever. They just, I don't know. So I don't know if you'll be able to see this, especially when I put it on the black board. But yeah, you can just see it there. See where the hole is? That corner is like, it's like it's grinded away. What? Like, what is with that? I have something. This is white. Does that help? Not really, because there's a big shadow. But yeah, I don't know what's up with that. So I'm gonna use that on one of these boards, so customers don't get that one. Like, they all work. I know that for sure because I programmed them all. This is a a tiny. Yeah, that's another thing as well. Sometimes you get a tinies that are much thinner than this. So, yeah, it's close enough. Oh, TD Club. Yeah, how's it going? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I find that kind of weird about super chats, that like it shows up in the local currency of the super chatter. So like sometimes you'd be on a stream and someone would like donate like Venezuelan dollars or something, and you're like, oh wow, 500, and you're like, how much is that? Probably made in China. Well, that's correct for the PCB, but I'm kind of doing a crappy version of drag soldering. So what I normally do actually with soldering SMD pins like this is I put it to the side, the flat part to the side, and just kind of drag down. So yeah. So I had enough solder left on my head to just finish that off. So again, flap it to the side, a little bit of solder, drag it down, flap it to the side. Has a bit of solder left over. That one is not the prettiest. Maybe I should tie it up. Oh, it's fine. Clean up the soldering iron head a bit. Yep, perfect. Not perfect. Sometimes you just gotta add a little bit more to make it tidier. That looks fine to me. It's a Christmas 3. Yeah, so I don't know, like, if you have that, like, joke in places where like Irish people pronounce like 33 and a third would be 33 and a third. So like when I read this here, that's PCB3. That's how I would say it if I wasn't thinking about it. No, there'll be no last minute pumpkins for Halloween. I did find a place that made orange PCBs in the UK actually. And I thought about it, and then I was like, no, I need to stop making new products. So over the summer, I've spent a huge amount of time on Tindie stuff, and I need to, like, I do like the Tindie stuff, but I need to like get back to making videos more than doing Tindie stuff, or just strike a better balance between them. So the SMD stuff is soldered here, so I think we're good to put on the battery, and we'll just see how it goes. So there's no real great way of putting on this battery clip other than, I don't know, do one part of it and see how it goes. Ragworm, yes, it is ragworm, and yes, they are pretty expensive, but it'd be so cool. Oh, I saw a sneak preview of somebody else, a different YouTuber, has a Halloween PCB coming out, and it looks pretty great. I hope they actually do release it. No, I'm pretty sure they will, but it looks great. Yeah, so one of the things that I want to make a video on is doing stylized PCBs. Not particularly the tree. The tree was a lot of manual work. If I was doing it again, I'd do it a lot quicker. But like I spent days making this. Like as in, like I didn't know what I was doing, and like so I drew out the spikes like manually in Easy EDA. If I was doing that again, like I would definitely import an image, right? As in I would make up the thing not in Easy EDA, the outline, and import an image. Like the star is drawn by hand in Easy EDA. Like so much of this board is a mess, but if it works, it works. Okay, so what do we think? It's gonna work? How many LEDs do you think are not going to work? It's funny. It's funny as well, though. Like the the value to some people of like these things. Like I asked dad's uh my dad's wife, sorry, dad's girlfriend, like, oh, how much would you pay for like one of these without the solder mass or without the watermark on it? And she's like, oh, maybe like €3 or €4. I was like, What color do you think I picked, Dave? I'm just saying. Okay, so we have 1 not working, 2 not working, 2. There's a lot of 2s. Andy, 50%. Ugh. Andy. And hello, Dave Darko. Okay. We definitely have some not working. That's not working down there. So I think whoever said 1 not working is correct. Yeah, this one down here isn't turning on. So that means there's something wrong either with that LED or one of the other ones is in wrong. Not the brightest, but pink and purple. It's white and pink. I don't like the way there's a big batch of pink in the middle there. That doesn't look great. Look, it's fine. It doesn't look great. Why is there a big batch of pink in the middle? I know you win. You win the internet. Yeah. Why is there so much pink? Like, what color is that gonna be? White? So it just looks like it's pink in the middle and white on the edges. I think it's hard to split up 2 colors with it though. It looks pretty nice though, right? 1 out of 12 because there's a star as well. Okay, so let's figure out what's wrong with that LED. It just doesn't look soldered right, I think. It's also pink. Come on, little TS100, wake up. Yeah, I think I would definitely do a different pattern. I don't know what I'd do for the pattern, but I think it just wasn't soldered. Yeah, just wasn't soldered. Not happy with the pattern. I don't know what you can do with it, but solder again. No, it's working now. Whether there's a problem, I don't know. So that's this done. Where is it? Because I've something new that's going to be available this year too. Not available yet because I'm still waiting on bits of it, but why is my desk such a mess? Where is it? No, I can't find it. This is why you shouldn't have a messy desk. Sugar lumps. bottom right two came on together. Oh, I took the battery. Still can't find that thing I was looking for. And I still haven't found what I'm looking for. It's not overly important. So you think two came on together? Do any of them look like they're the wrong way around? Yes, there is one the wrong way around. See this one here. See, this is why I don't want to assemble them anymore. See him? Wrong way around. What color is he? White? Because this is a much easier job if I don't need to save the LED. I'll save the LED anyways. Somebody made a flower pot for it last year. I don't know if you were on it. Last year, it was a bit later than this in the year. I designed this on a stream, or some of it on a stream, and I was like, oh, what am I going to do for a battery? And I was like, oh, I won't be able to fit a battery anywhere here. And it was Gavin who was in the chat earlier anyways. Hey, Mike. And he actually suggested to, oh, why don't you use one of those sticky out ones as a stand? I was like, oh my god! That is amazing. Yeah, so that is what we did. But yeah, let's fix this. Ugh. It would be a lot easier if I didn't have to save the LED, but I'm gonna try save the LED. Is it definitely that one? Yeah, it's that one. So let's just do this nice little dance of heat. Come back. Okay, LED is off. Who knows if I burnt it, but it's off. The only good idea you've had. I'm pretty sure it's on Thingiverse. I would be surprised if I didn't add it to the Tindie listing, but I mightn't have. But I would be surprised if I didn't. And if I didn't, I should. Sticking up like a sore thumb. How? Like, I don't understand how you could do that. My wife just texted me. It sounds like I'm something. Having a good time. Sounds like I got it working. Sounds like... who knows? Sounds like you're sleeping on the couch. No, it's not true. How to lose an LED in a cork? Yeah, cork isn't the best thing for. I need one of those. I need one of those stands. The one that you have, Dave, like the Sion's design one, but with the epoxy or whatever it is. That looks class. Who made that for you again? Ireland, Cork. I live quite far from Cork. I'm actually quite surprised that someone from New Zealand knows that Cork exists. if this LED still works at the end of this, I don't know. So it's not going in straight. I think it's because there's a blob of solder. Oh, I hate you. But this is a really fun board to solder. You should all get one. Yeah, it was just too high. Yeah. Yeah, Cork is like the second biggest city in Ireland. It's very far down south, and I live in the Midlands. The Midlands isn't that well connected to the south or the north, actually. It's very well connected to the east and west, but not very well connected to the south. So going to Cork is not something I would do regularly. Jeez, I hate you, LED. I hate you so much. No, unless you want to go in properly, then I will love you. Why are you? You see, you're a bit far away to see my struggles. I'm just gonna put it in. I don't care if it's flat or not flat or anything. It's just put on your skates, Woody. You're going in. Now, I would love to know where that thing is. I had it here really recently. I was showing my wife it. Okay, so let's actually test that it works now. So each one should come on. Ah, no! This one didn't come on, so either I didn't solder it back in right or the LED is broken. It's not soldered. I think. Still not soldered. Okay. Yeah. There. Just a big giant blob of solder. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, it's turning on now anyways. Okay. Pink, white, 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 pink, white, white, pink, white, pink, pink. Yay! Hey! Bit loony. It's Christmas all year round in the Lock household. Yeah. Where? Okay, so the thing that I can't find is the thing that I can't find is a PCB I made. I have parts of one over here. Oh, I actually put it away. That's why I can't find it. Ooh, happy birthday, Johnny, in 9 minutes. Okay, so this thing. So a 2032 coin cell is called a 2032 because it is 20 millimeters in diameter. And it's 32 millimeters thick. So the standard PCB size is 16 mil. 16 mil? Yeah, 1.6. 1.6 mil. Yeah, sorry. Is it? Whatever. I'm confusing myself. Yeah, it's 1.6 mil, and that's 3.2 mil. They are roughly the same thickness when you stack two of them together. Yes, 3.2, 1.6. Thank you. So I ordered these from Oshpark, and they are available on Oshpark if anybody wants to order them. But I do have I have a bug in this one where to mark on the copper, um, to mark on the copper that I remember you getting those copper coins. To mark on the copper that it's minus and plus, I used vias, but your vias are like they're over each other and possibly you're connecting. So I actually put a bit of like insulating tape between these two. So maybe I'll update those designs on Oshpark, but that's the Oshpark one, anyways. So but I've ordered some of JLC now as well. Tobias, yes, it's not on Thingiverse. Okay. I've ordered some off JLC, but I had to change the design because I don't know if you've ever noticed before, but if you try to castellated edges with JLC, the price is insane. But yeah, so you eagle-eyed people will also notice there is no voltage conversion on this. It just puts micro USB to power here. Yes, that is that's don't panic badge compared to it. Yeah, so as you can see, this has been plugged in a few times, but the PCB3, because it runs on an Tiny, which is pretty flexible to voltage input, it can just take 5 volts. So this isn't a general purpose micro USB to coin cell adapter because it doesn't even go into a lot of boards. But the ones that have these ones and can take 5 volts goes in pretty perfectly. So you just shove it in. Okay, well, goes in pretty perfectly other than it being a bit stiff. Ow. So it's in, and obviously it's a bit bent all over the place, but we can fix that. We can fix it, don't worry. So I might plug this in. But the added benefit of this is that the LEDs are way brighter because they just have more voltage and probably even more current available to them and everything. I don't know. But yeah, well, the voltage obviously is going to make them brighter. So let's, like, I can even see shadows. Like, you can't see shadows on the other one. So let's just take a mental note of how bright that is. So this is the dimmest that these get because it's a coin cell board destroyer. Yeah. Yeah, don't plug this into other stuff. Maybe I should have put, I think I did on the new one say like this is 5 volts only or whatever. So yeah, it actually looks way nicer at 5 volts than the other thing, or at 3.3 volts. So this is running at like 1/12 PWM basically because of the Charlie plexing. So it's pretty bright. It's fine. So if I take that out, put in a battery, which mightn't be a fresh battery now either, but let's enable that mode again. 100 Looney. I have a 100 resistor, like it's night and day between the two of them. or at least in person. That cell could be bad though. I'll get a new one. Yeah, I've 100 on the 4 lines going to the microcontroller, Looney. Yeah, so this battery does look a bit better than the other one. So one exists with a built-in voltage regulator. So yeah, it looks better than that cell for sure, but doesn't look as good as the 5 volts. Actually, I should probably be more careful of this 5 volts just floating around here. With yeah, but yeah. So that's that. Um, the best place I found to buy them, David, is IKEA. Um, you can buy. You used to be able to buy 8 of them for €125. I don't know if that's changed. Good brightness for evening viewing. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Like. So some people have. There's already coin cell boards that exist for. Like coin cell PCB boards that have the built-in voltage regulator, but they're kind of a hard thing to design. Just mainly because like all the different boards have like different orientations and stuff. So like that one's fine, right? You want to have your you want to have the micro USB on the minus sign. Will I? Yeah, I will list the USB buzzer. I might only make it as an add-on for the tree though. Would people want them outside of it? Um, yeah. So like, if I only make this available as an add-on for the tree, I can go. Yeah, this is only for the tree because it's got the 5 volts and this can accept 5 volts. So if you use this just for the tree, it's fine. But if you plug that into something else, you're ducked. Um, but so the other problem is, so there is version 1 of a Panda. There is fingerboard. I have another Panda. No, all I have is fingerboards. But yeah, the problem is that like, okay, for this to work this way, I need to have the USB up on the minus side because when you plug it in, again, it's quite tough to plug in. I went in fine that time. Like you want the micro USB to be up this side, right? So that's fine. But you'll notice with these batteries that the plus is on top, so you would need the micro USB up on the plus side for these ones, and well, both of these are capable of taking 5 volts anyways, probably, so it wouldn't make a difference for these ones. But then you also have the problem with the 3.3 volts, so you know, I don't know. But yeah, I don't think I'll list them separately. I think they will be an add-on for the Christmas tree. If people have a reason to buy them, maybe I'll add them. But like the whole thing would be a giant caveat. So is the here is the PCBs. So it's 2 separate designs. These are not that expensive from Osh Park if you wanted to get them from there. So like that's the bottom one under USB. So you can see there's the vias I was talking about, that there's like you can see the Metallica the minus and the Metallica the plus and they go on top of each other. So yeah, that's why I put a tiny bit of tape on that. The new design won't have that. I think, I hope. Yeah, so just solder that up. 5 volts is transferred to this pad here. These pads are dumb pads. Like they're just for solder strength. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so how long they'll last, I don't know. I've had this one a while, but I wouldn't have been plugging it in and out a huge amount either. So I don't know. Also, like my the ones I get off JLC will not be or what's this? This is Hassel, is it, or HASL? It'll be just the crap one, whatever the crap one is called. The crap solder finish. But yeah, so that is that. What time is it? 11. So actually, I have some crowdsourcing of ideas for a design that I want to run by Enig. Sorry, it's Enig. You're right. Yeah, it'll the new one will be the new ones will be Hassel. So if that's worse hardwaring or whatever, then it will be. Okay. So here's my crowdsourcing. Just let me get that and where is the other one? Oh, maybe I just sent it away. Okay. Yes. Okay. So Hassel crap Enig nice. Yes, you're right. And happy birthday. Yes, it is now Johnny's birthday. So happy birthday, Johnny. So I made this board last year when I was gearing up for the PCB3s. I threw it together, and so obviously there's an Arduino Nano here. It's programmed as an ISP Arduino as ISP. The Arduino as ISP sketch is on it. And it is connected to an Tindie with appropriate pins, to 6-pin whatever IDC connector, whatever it's called, with the appropriate pins, has the appropriate pins broken out to this, and and mirrored down the bottom here as well. And what's nice about it is that, so what I do when I'm programming the like PCB3 Tindies or the finger Tindies is I have a script running on my computer that invokes AVR dude and burns the bootloader and then burns the hex file, and then like just loops that and like prompts, do you want to burn another board at the end, and you say yes, and you come and get your Tindie and you drop it in there, let it up. So if you've never seen these things before, they're like SMD adapters, and like there's teeth in them there that kind of clamp it down. And I have this one for the fatter boards, and then I've this one for the smaller ones. See you, David. Good night. But I also noticed that these ones, for whatever reason, like the footprint is crap on them. They're different. The footprint on the two bottom ones are, I don't know if you can see that, but they're an extra row apart. So that's why I have two up here, so like you can use one or the other. So that's a long-winded way of going. So I actually like these boards. I use them quite a lot. Or I use this quite a lot. But I've been thinking about like what I would like to do with this board in terms of going forward. I I don't know if it's that nice in terms of whether other people would want them or whatever. So what I've been thinking about with them, and maybe people will agree or disagree. So another project that I started work on and haven't finished is the Block Bootloader Burner, and it's a project by Nick Gammon. Well, sorry, obviously it's not Block Bootloader Burner, but there's a bootloader burner by Nick Gammon where he has like all the bootloaders of a ton of different AVR devices in a sketch, and in when you plug in the device to the AVR, the target that you want to program, like it automatically detects what type of board it is and goes, yeah, I got this bootloader for it. But you still have to interface with it over the PC, like as in you see in the serial monitor that like, hey, this is an Uno. Do you want to burn the bootloader on it? And you say yes, right? But like, you don't really need the PC in it. So wouldn't it be better if it went, hey, like, so it's a standalone device. You shouldn't need to plug it into the PC anymore. So you just have power. So you plug it in, it detects, if it detects the board and has a bootloader for that target, the light in my eye should flash green, right? When LED 1 is solid green, it's ready to flash. So when LED 1 is solid green, press this button, and instead of on the serial monitor confirming, it would just confirm using the button. So the resetter circuit, this is what I'm going to get to max int actually. So so that's fine, right? So you're going to have a little IDC header here, and you can plug that into your target or whatever you want to do. But it also it uses the same pins as ISP, Arduino as ISP sketch. The only difference is it doesn't have the capacitor on the reset line, which the Arduino as ISP sketch needs. But I also actually found that if I want to program this board, I need to plug it out of this board because that capacitor stops the reset from happening, I guess. But so on this one, you can swap. There's a switch. I assembled one, but I actually sent it on to somebody else. I don't even know if they got it. I didn't hear anything back from them. So you can swap between whether that capacitor is connected or not. So yeah, you have your ribbon cable coming out of it. Let me just get the ribbon cable. Not that people don't know what a ribbon cable looks like, but this is the wrong ribbon cable. Yeah, so I have a ribbon cable here, and I must have more of them somewhere because I should. But yeah, so you have your ribbon cable, and it comes out of here, and now you have your ISP programmer somewhere else, right? So what I have connected here is pogo pins, so maybe useful for programming a PCB3, for example. I don't know if it actually even goes into, or if that's the correct way or whatever, but that's fine. But so, like, as maxint says, right, maybe include a 12 volt fuse for the resetter circuit, right? That's a use case. Whether you want to program in a tiny 13 or 85, that's a use case because they use the same programmer. If you want to program on a tiny 841, that's a different use case, like with different pinouts. Some people are like, oh, you should use a ZIF socket or whatever. But, like, you know, you don't always need a ZIF socket, but sometimes you might want a ZIF socket. So, I've kind of been toying with the idea in my head of making like a modular programmer kind of suite of stuff. I don't know if suite is the right term, but like if you have your programming header coming out from here, right? You could use one of these ribbon cables, which are very cheap, plug it out into a second board, right? That has whatever you want on it, right? That like you could have your ZIF programming header, right? Which makes sense for whatever reason. Maybe you have one that's more similar to this, that like it supports having these on it, and maybe it also goes into a breadboard or whatever. So what I'm doing, like, one thing I found useful about this one here is because there's two, or there's even more than two places for pinouts to be. So this breadboard is an exact is an exact copy of the circuit that that the exact circuit of the finger, right? So when I program the finger, or the Tiny 13 for the finger, if this LED blinks, I know for certain that that one works fine. So like it's nice that I'm able to like recreate the circuit of something I'm going to program, so I know for sure it works. And again, if you've like a modular board, you could kind of recreate whatever you needed to recreate, or have even maybe even like solder, wires from here to an actual PCB3. So when you program the thing, you know for sure it works, right? Yeah, so like maybe an edge connector would work okay too. But yeah, so I'm not married to these. I have literally 4 of them left, right? So I'm completely open for changing anything. But I don't know. I like the idea of like having modular boards for the different things, but at the same time I'm like, okay, that's nice and all, but I've used this one so much that I'm like, maybe this one's fine. You know what I mean? It like this works fine, and it's a lot simpler to provide to somebody to than like modular boards. But then I kind of go back to the idea of, okay, if you had a modular board, like a lot of people don't like the Arduino as ISP. Like they want to use something different, right? So maybe something like this guy. I'm pretty sure it can be used for programming stuff. But like, you could connect these things into the modular boards as well. Like you could use any programmer with, like you could replace this part with any other programmer, or you could replace the modular part with any other part that like suits your need, and keep the other one. And I'm just, yeah, I'm a little bit confused about what I want to do with it. Do like any thoughts or suggestions around that? Like maybe it's even something that people don't like. The people who need that kind of stuff would probably just make it themselves anyways. So, and in case it wasn't obvious as well, this is a dual, or it should. I haven't tested it with the Uno, but like you can use either a Nano or an Uno as the source board. I don't know what you'd even call that, the programmer, which is nice, but it also makes the board bigger and more expensive. So like if we go back to these squares again, so like it's not panelizable, and you could probably make one that is just the nano panelizable, because you like if you put your nano down there or up here or whatever, like you would be able to fit everything you need to fit into the space that's left. Well, maybe. So like it does increase the cost of the board, but I also time to lock and boot load. That's nice. Yeah, I was like, I have a huge amount of space on the back. I'm just gonna make this massive. JLC actually figured a problem for me with this. In fairness to them, I give out about them a little bit, but so I had the Uno done, and it was coming out to like here. I seem tired. I am tired. I'm very tired. It was coming out to here, and I was like, oh, it'd be handy to have access to the reset button, because that's where it is on an Uno. Here's a Mega, close enough. And I was like, oh, I'll just take out this chunk. And I was just looking at the top layer at the time, or whatever. I didn't see on the bottom layer. I had a load of wires going straight through that cutout. And JLC got back to me and were like, do you really want to like do that? I was like, no, I do not. So, in fairness, good on them. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of options for programmers and stuff that I just feel like it would be nice to modulate them a little bit. Like, I don't know if any of you have seen these before. That is quite nice, actually. So if you want to program one of these at Tiny's, so you're up. If you want to program one of these at Tiny's while they're situated on a board, like you can just squeeze it around there. And then you have having a Tiny kind of back on this side, and you can like what I've been doing with them is plugging them into like that. Sorry, that. And yeah, you can program them as normal. So like, yeah, I have a lot of stuff around that kind of thing, and I'm like, is there a nicer way to do it? And I don't know. And I haven't seen a huge amount of suggestions either, so I don't think it's a topic that is very interesting to people. But yeah, it's something I keep batting around my head, and at some stage I might do something with it, or I probably won't. I'll continue to use this one forever, which works quite well. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I probably also one that makes, yeah, a fuse resetter. Yeah, so like, yeah, the fuse resetter is another interesting thing. I don't know if you've you seen that Ben Heck has a video where he does a fuse resetter for a Tiny 10 or something. AT-Tiny, is it a 10? But I thought a Tiny 10 was pretty, or sorry, the one he did for the AT-Tiny 10 or AT-Tiny 10 was cool. It seems like a lot of the fuse resetters are just that. They do nothing but just reset the fuses, while his seemed to be like a regular programmer almost, that like just pushed 12 volts on the reset line as well. I can't remember if I am remembering that right or wrong, but like it seemed like it was able to program as well as doing the 12 volts, and I'm not sure if the fuse, a lot of the fuse resetters just reset the fuse. They just burn burn the fuses, but I'm not sure. But yes, anyways, let's finish up there. Thanks for joining, everybody. We'll be putting up the PCB3s pretty soon. I'd say by this weekend. We will probably I don't know where the USB one is. We'll probably have a bit of a discount for people who buy them early, because like it's September. Like, or, you know, it seems madness to me to be buying Christmas tree stuff in September, but yeah, like, yeah, just as a reward for allowing me to be able to get them in and, you know, figure out the demand of them and stuff and be able to actually buy more of them. Yeah, so there'll be a discount for early birds. And yeah. Right, Looney, do you know, or Colin, I guess, the Makercast, is that this weekend or is it next weekend? Do tweet it. I will. It's next weekend, I guess, isn't it? It's the first Sunday of the month. Don't forget to share and subscribe. That was held for review. I will allow it through, because I'm nice like that. Are they going to be white and pink? I don't think I'm going to have enough white ones to make white and pink an option, but I will buy white. I will buy white LEDs and make sure that it will be an option in the future. The other thing is the what were you calling this? The coin cell killer. I only ordered that today or yesterday, so like that'll probably be like 2 weeks before it's here, and I also need to check that it works, because it's actually a different design. So, yep. Right, cool. Thank you, everybody. I am tired, so I'm going to finish up here. And, yeah, I will see you soon. We'll probably have a video out in the next week or two, but we'll see. We'll see how life treats me in the next while. Right, thank you and good night. Bye-bye.